Hello, Vinnie. First of all, thank you very much for inviting me. My name is Carlos Oliveira. I'm the CTO of Algramo, and what I want to do is invite you to join what we call the refill revolution. But well, first,
Carlos, thank you for joining me. I think you are one of the longest distance guests I've had. I've had somebody from Australia. I've had somebody from the Middle East, but nobody from Chile. So thank you for joining me.
No problem. I'm glad to make that list. I like to create some records, so I'm glad to be the first so far. And in the beginning, what I want to explain a little bit about what Algramo is or what we came from. So Algramo is a Spanish word, and this Spanish word together mean selling products in discrete amounts, like per liter, per pound, per ounces. And we also incorporate in our logo any character that is a Spanish character. And we also are very proud because so far we are able to get very good recognitions from for instance, National Geographic and the World Economic Forum. More recent, last year, we are named by Fortune magazine as one of the top 20 impact company in the world. So we are very glad of that. And what we are doing, so what's the problem that we are solving? We are actually solving a three-part problem, okay? The first part is what we call future of consumption. So today, the retailers and brands, they need to deal with shifting environment requirements. They are dealing with new and complex regulation and new and complex customer demands. Because the reduction of plastic use is a global concern. So this is the first part of the problem. The second, also very important, is that people with low incomes are often forced to pay up to 40% more for the same product because they are buying the packaging. They buy the product and they need to pay for the package as well. And the question we make here is why they can pay only for the product itself, right? And the third and most important part is the packaging waste. Plastic, you know, plastic has a huge impact in the global warming, in the ocean pollution. So it's very important to reduce it. And here you can ask me, maybe, Vinnie, but what's the problem with the plastic? The plastic can be recycled. And that's true. Plastic can be recycled, and it has been recycled for the last 40 years, but today only less than 9% of the plastic is recycled. Therefore, I believe you will agree with me, we cannot wait another 40 years, right?
And especially plastic bags, and there's certain things that are very difficult to collect and recycle. So, and
people see low value, like you said, plastic bags, people just throw it out because it's small, you don't see a value, you just throw it away. It ends, as you can see the picture, in the ocean, polluting, killing the animals in the flora in the oceans. And we are luckily not alone. You can see here, most of the big brands are committed to reduce the plastic use over the packaging, and also to reduce the carbon emissions. And you can say also many analysts agree on the importance of this matter in the market opportunity that it represents. You see here World Economic Forum, for instance, reinforcing that recycling is not enough. We need to do something different, something more representative to solve this issue. So what is our vision? What Algramo is doing? We are in a path to transform the circular consumption in drugs, the same way these other companies you see here disrupted their markets. So I believe today you don't rent any movies on DVD, or you don't buy music in CDs, right?
Oh, you
So,
can still, there are still people who do that, but you're right. I mean, the world is moving away from all that, right?
so the idea what we do is being more than a platform. We are creating a circular living ecosystem. So we are looking for change the consumer habits and make them worry about the impact of their habits in the environment. And how we bring this vision to reality? Well, our solution, the same way our problem has three parts, our solution has also three parts. The first part is our app. By the way, you can download here, scanning the QR code. It provides a fun way for the users to interact with our solution and also to interact between them. The users can see their environmental impact. They can see how much plastic they save. They can compete between users in different countries, in different geographies. They have this gamification part of the app so they can enjoy use it. The second part of our solution is what we call our refuel stations. So we have developed a lot of dispensers for any kind of products, like home care products, personal care products, food as well. And we are also able to connect our cloud into dispensers from other brands. So the users can refill their bottles or their containers at any convenient location.
So what are some other products that your kiosk dispense? Soap, shampoo, but just name a few products.
We are focusing in the beginning mainly on home care products because home care products is the second category that generate more plastic pollution. So they are basic soap, dishwasher, softener, and those kind of cleaning products for home care. And the second category that we are focused is personal care. So as you mentioned, shampoos, hand creams, hand soap, body wash soap, those kind of products are.
So your dispensers are multiple nozzles? I mean, because the liquids are very different, right, in their viscosity and so on. So you have multiple nozzles?
Yeah, it's a very good question. They are multiple nozzles because of the different products. So this dispenser that you see in the picture has up to two. It is able to dispense up to two different products. But internally, via software and via hardware, we were able to come up with a dispenser that is generic. It is able to dispense products from a very large range of viscosity and of very different kinds of products can be dispensed with this dispenser you see over there. And also what we are bringing to the market now is what we call closed refill. So we have this kind of valve in the packages so the user can refill their bottle or their container. Connecting it to the dispenser is not more like an open bottle that you just put in the dispenser, you connect it. And so it became more easy and safe to the user, avoiding spilling, avoiding other kinds of problems that the traditional open refill has.
After each dispense, do you wash the nozzle, or the nozzle doesn't need to be washed that often?
It depends on the product. There is a sanitization process that is agreed with the brand. Okay. For instance, one of the brands that we work, Oliveira, requires the dispenser to be sanitized every time we change the batch of the product. Yep. And our new family of dispenser is coming with a self-cleaning solution. So after each dispensing, the nozzle is automatically cleaned.
Okay, thank you. And you,
no problem.
and you've got a third component.
Sure. And it's a very important component. We call it smart packaging. It's a rigid or a flexible container which has a unique ID. So once you buy it for the first time, it becomes your container, your bottle, and next time you will go for a refill, you just approach the container to the dispenser. The dispenser will know who you are, will know if you have credits, if you need to buy more credits, if you want to pay by credit card or to pay by the application. The package becomes like your user ID in this Algramo cloud. You just approach the package to the dispenser, then the dispenser will recognize you. And therefore, it is a very easy experience for the user and allow us to track everything that the users does, and of course giving him the information about how many times he refilled, how much plastic he's helped to save.
There's no what about the reverse logistics? How long does the package last? 50 users, 100 users, something like that?
It up to 250
okay.
uses, so it's a lot. And after
at the end, do you have a reverse logistics process?
At the end, as each package is has their unique ID, so we can let the user know, look, your package has achieved the end of life. Please return it, and then we give a new one, and the returned one comes into a recycling process to become again a new package. So the idea is have this circle, not letting any packaging going to be a waste.
Okay.
So this is how our solution works. And
the dispensers, do you have arrangements with, where do you have them? It's retail stores, or tell me where you have the dispensers.
There are basically two scenarios. One is, as you mentioned, inside retail stores, like in US, we are in Target. Here in Chile, we are in Walmart, and we are starting operating in UK in Lidl. So the dispenser is inside the store. The customer go buy groceries and buy other products and just bring the smart package with him and refill it and pay in the cashier. It's one way it works. And the other way is having the dispensing on public spaces like office buildings or laundry facilities. We also have this possibility in US, in New York. Actually, we have a couple of dispensers in laundry store in office buildings.
It makes a lot of sense to have it in laundries, or barbershops for healthcare, for your hair care products. Do you make the dispensers yourself, or is that bought from a specialist company?
We do the project, but we outsourcing the production. Okay. The production is done by a manufacturing, a global manufacturer that we established in Netherlands.
Okay.
So it's Chilean development, manufacturing in Netherlands.
Design in Chile, as Apple would say, and
yeah. So a little bit about our history, what we have been doing so far. So Algramo will.
Oh wow.
Next year we'll have 10 years. In the beginning, Algramo was a company that was trying to compete with the other big brands, the ones that are our partners now. So
you were trying to make your own shampoo. You were trying to make your own detergent.
Exactly.
Okay.
Our founder in the beginning was going that way. Then he realizes that doing that, he will not be able to create an important impact, because they will never sell as much shampoo or soap as Unilever, SC Jones, or other big brand. So he starts to this new concept of partner with the brands, and then starts to getting funding from, like, instance, Closed Loop Capital, Delos Capital, and in this process also create partnerships and be friends with the big brands. Like Unilever was our first partner, then came Nestle, then Clorox, Colgate Palmolive, Grove, Wings in Indonesia, and our scale up really starts in 2019 when we start these partnerships, because before there, Algramo was just a local Chilean company providing a solution here in Chile.
So you mentioned Indonesia. You're obviously in the US. How many countries are you in now?
Nowadays, we are in Chile, US, UK, and Indonesia, and we are open operation in Mexico by June this year. So it will be 5 countries. And that's the idea.
In 3 years, that's pretty impressive.
Thank you. And the idea is we choose the market is according to the amount of plastic waste that it creates. So some people ask why you went to Indonesia and why you went to Jakarta, because Indonesia has a huge impact in the generation of plastic. And also it's an interesting and different refill culture, because in Indonesia they are very familiar with this concept of refilling, but without technology. People just bring any bottle to shops and refill it with no technology, just a simple.
Right.
So the idea was to see how technology work at that environment. And
I've been to Jakarta. I know what you mean. Yeah. You said you decide which countries to go to. Do your partners tell you, hey, Carlos, why aren't you you're going to Mexico, how about Costa Rica? Yeah, Costa Rica is very environmentally aware, and so are your partners also guiding you, or you make those decisions?
Unfortunately, we have more demand that we can attend. So we're still making the decisions by ourselves, thinking on the impact that we can create, and we are always choosing the companies that sells more and therefore create more waste. So that's the idea. That's why you see Unilever and Nestle as our partners, because we choose them so we can generate more impact. But of course, there are, in this conversation, sometimes came up, why don't you go to Brazil, for instance, because it's a big country, and we are splitting the scale up along some years in the future, because we are not able to go everywhere in parallel. So the idea for this year is consolidate our operation in Mexico, UK and US, here in Chile and Indonesia, and raise Series B funds. So from 2023, when we achieve 10 years of company, start to scale up faster. and going to other countries.
I'm sure you would like to go to Brazil a few times.
Yeah, it will be easy for me to speak the language.
Obrigado, right?
Right, obrigado. It will be good to speak my native language for a while. Well, in this path that I show, we have been able to create some impact. So here you can see what we did so far in terms of water saved, CO2 saved, plastic saved, and how many reused packaging we are able to.
This is 2 years. This is 2 years of data or 1 year of data?
2 years of data, 2020 and 2021.
Yep.
So this is how much the solution was able to save so far. Of course, it's not a lot, but considering how it can be if we went to lots of countries and get an important portion of this market, it has a huge potential. The most difficult thing for us is to change the customer behavior, because of course for the customer it will be always easy go to a shelf and just take a bottle instead of bring their bottle.
From a pricing perspective, you said the poverty tax and smaller packaging, people pay more, right? Are you able to show, have you been able to negotiate with your partners, hey, look, you're selling to me in bulk, give me the price savings. Are you able to do that?
Yeah. We try to do a model that has benefit for everyone. Basically have 3 parts, the brand, the retailer, and the customer, the end customer. So what is in that for the end customer? The end customer has a small price because he or she does not need to pay for the package every time. And also because we create optimizations at the retailer and the brand side, because the logistics is simple. They do not need to produce lots of bottles and deliver lots of bottles or packaging. They just need to produce a huge container and deliver one huge container is much more simpler than delivering lots of bottles. Also for the retailer, there is a space saving in the storage and also in the store. And saving space in the store is very important for the retailers because they are measured by how much they sell by meter, by square meter or area in the store. Therefore, with a dispenser like the one that I showed a couple of slides ago, you will use a very less space than if you had the equivalent in bottles in the shelf.
Does the retailer expect you to rent the space, or you show them that it's profitable for them to just the price pays for their rental?
The commercial model is similar to it is today. So the brand pays for the space to the retailer, and the brand also is who pays Algramo. The retailer is just the channel where the brand uses to sell the products, and Algramo provide the technology, the dispensers, and the service related to the dispenser, and the software related to the dispensers. But the commercial model is still pretty much the same, because we believe it to be easy to adoption instead of creating a different model.
I think from your perspective, from an investor perspective, staying as a technology company doesn't confuse the message too much. So yeah. So
for the user, the idea is to achieve a good price, and actually going into the end, I want to invite you and everyone who sees this presentation. If you are in US, you can see we are in San Francisco at Target. We are in New York at the Access Market. You can see our price of laundry detergent. It's $1 per bottle,
Wow.
which I believe it's a very good price. So the invitation is to come to visit us if you are in US, if you are.
I'll be in San Francisco in April, so I will try and go to one of the Targets. How many Targets are you in San Francisco?
Unfortunately, just one.
Oh, okay. Okay. Well, email me the address, and I'll try to go there.
For sure. It's a cool store because it's a pilot store. So it's the theme of the story. It's all related to environmental impact. So you can see Algramo, you can see other brands as well doing their part on save the planet. So in conclusion, for us, it's urgent, it's feasible, and it will be mainstream. We feeling so. I want to thank you again, Vinnie, for the invitation and let my contact data here if someone have any inquiries, questions, or curiosities. I'm glad to talk about it.
Fascinating concept, fascinating. So thank you for presenting it.
Thank you, Vinnie.